which luckily hasn't happened yet. That's always a nightmare of mine, that I get like 30 minutes into a good conversation and then I realize I never hit the record button. That's like my worst nightmare.
Well, I just prohibited that from happening.
Awesome. Thank you for keeping me in line. Excellent. Okay. Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Nordic Sound. As always, I am your host, Jameson Foster, and today we are joined by the highly requested returning guest, Ingrid Auné Falch. I pronounced it at least relatively right this time. While we will be talking a little bit about the some exciting news from Songleikr, Ingrid is coming back onto the channel to talk about her own recent solo project, Piina.
Piina is the hatred, grows to shut you down. Piina is the reason to cut the cord of sound. Piina sparks the movement, action or revenge. Speaks my body's language and warns me. Piina causes distance, pushes me to strive. Inspired great adventures to keep the self
It's
alive.
inspiration, it's composition, it's meaning, and of course also the recent live performance project, Echoes. But before we get into all of that, Ingrid, welcome back to the channel. It is great to have you back. How are you doing today?
Oh, thank you. Yes, I'm doing great. I just watched a construction rise, like literally,
Okay.
a wood construction. It's a wood shed that I've been wanting for so long, and I just witnessed the frame rise.
Yeah.
And I said it was the wind that made me cry,
Oh, yeah?
and then I had to go because I had this interview with you. So I had a great day.
Was I like the emphasis on had a great day. You know, I was really enjoying watching this construction rise, but then I had to jump on Zoom.
Oh, great. I love it when people interpret things I say as insults.
Well,
Um,
you sort of armed me for it with the last one. I had to duck
exactly.
and move, duck and move.
It was just really good, right? That was great sparring, conversational sparring.
And which is why everyone wanted you back. And me
Oh,
included, of
really?
course. Me included, of course. I
Because you
told you, it
fucking
reminded.
punned me. You punned me just
Okay.
now. It was great.
Oh yeah, this is gonna be great, man. So I think we agreed we wanted to start with talking about the Echoes project.
Yes,
Um,
yes, yes,
am
yes.
I? So I have to say, so maybe a lot of people are thinking, did she shave her head? Because
Yes,
last
but
time you were on the
they're not
podcast,
thinking that. They're a bit I don't think they have well, what do you have to not have to notice that I'm not shaved? Like you don't have senses. Like you can't see it, hear it, feel it, or notice it
or
in the textual way, right? Because
oh
people
yep.
also actually touch my head.
Oh, do I need to pull out the obvious? Remember, we're siblings and shaved heads now, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
I get that all the time, especially when it's freshly shaven. A lot of people like want to feel the Velcro.
I actually like it. I
Yeah.
actually really like it. Because I keep it at 3 millimeters and there's so many people like petting me like a cat. I've even
Yep.
caught myself in social settings, like begging people to touch it. Come on, feel it, right?
Yep, that's great. Yeah, I always said my wife has to take it as close to this. My hairline is atrocious, so she has to take it as close to the skull as possible. And I'll even find myself, like, the couple days afterwards, I'll just be doing it myself. Like,
Oh, you're touching yourself, are
yeah.
you? Well, it did unlock a very newfound kind of self-soothing for me.
Okay.
Because I've noticed I stroke my hair and my neck a lot more after I cut it,
Hmm.
and it really helps to calm down and release stress,
Hmm.
which is also one of the reasons why I shaved my head up a lot because of my physical work.
Okay.
Um, um, like getting to specific points and just being free, right? Because
Hmm.
it's always in my face. And with the horses, it's horrible with hair. Like stable work and hair doesn't really go together.
Okay. Do they
Or
chomp on it? Like, do they think it's hay?
Absolutely not.
Yeah, oh, okay. Shows you how much I know about horses.
No, it just gets in my face. Right, it just gets in my face, and you have to watch it all the time. It's really like it's just a lot of work with hair, isn't it? And then it's a great lion's mane, right?
Yeah.
So I've gotten away with a lot of shit because of this long blonde hair. Like, I've gotten myself out of so many situations. It's great Norwegian camouflage as well. You just glide through society, right? Which is probably why I made it this far without people really knowing how shaved I am.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. Because the reason I asked is because was that shaving a part of the Echoes all I know is that you were doing the live performance, and then after the live performance, you suddenly didn't have hair anymore.
I didn't. I didn't have hair on stage.
Okay. Because I like, that would be such a 21st century performance art thing, to have someone just like completely shave their full head of hair on stage.
Well,
as like
I get it, but it's a good question. It's a really good question. So the answer is like yes and no. I shaved my head probably 5 or 6 months before that.
Okay.
But I know the Echoes project is such a weird fucking story.
Okay.
How
we're
that
all ears
together. Yeah, it's just a really weird fucking story, and it kind of connects to the future of Songleikr as well. So
okay,
that's, it's perfect bridge, right?
Yes, so, I fully intended that.
Yeah. Okay. So about you're good. We have to get started now.
Yeah, we can't just chuckle like the entire episode.
Please help me stay on track this time.
Okay. Well, no, I'm the worst person to help someone stay on track.
I know, but it's your podcast now.
Oh, so hey, you said no editing, so look, man, you're in charge here.
You're supposed to be the responsible adult.
Okay, fine, I'll do it if I need to. But okay, yes, the Echoes project. Let's start discussing the sort of backstory, the motivations, all that. So yeah, let's get into it.
The Echoes project came to be because 10 or 15 years ago, I had I worked a little bit in Romania, or actually Transylvania, the Transylvanian part of Romania. And I got to know this producer down there, and that project was finished and long gone. And Maria actually joined in that project that time also, 15 years ago. I keep saying 15, but I think I want to say 2015.
Oh, okay.
Because it's not 15 years ago. It's just getting mixed up. So
I mean, it's almost 15 years ago. I mean, it's 10 years ago, and we all just got a collective existential crisis. All right, you're right. 2015 was only 5 years ago. Don't worry.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Jensen. Thank you.
Of course.
And then, so we both knew him, right? But then he reached out. He had a new project, completely different than the stuff we did 15 years ago, because that was Viking reenactment related, right? It was long before Hilo. It was long before any of it. He just knew me, kind of. I was the contact person. So he emailed about this new project, and then with the Norwegian partner, Heidi. She's one of the 3 people I established hands-on history with. So yeah, the email actually came from her, but it doesn't matter. We popped up in the mind of someone from the past, right?
Okay.
With a connection to someone from the present that also knows that I sing with Maria, because he didn't know that. Because Maria and I didn't sing together during that event because I was organizing, right? And then they needed 2 Norwegian musicians that was going to be randomly paired with 2 Romanian musicians. The deadline is in 2 days. what do you have any requirements? And can you call Maria? So I called Maria and I said, there's some project that's in Romania. It's like the outline. Is it okay if we put our names on the application for the European Union, right? Because this is a European Union funded cultural project. And then she just like, yeah, sounds cool. And then also it's a little bit like a lot of people send in these applications, right? You never know if you get the money. It's a risk you're going to have to take. Well, we got the money.
Hell yeah.
And then it started getting a bit complicated because she's touring. And she had given a promise of a minimum 14 days, right? But we hustled our way through it and we landed some dates and we met the guys, the two Romanian musicians, and just completely fell in love with them. And we made music together, and we where the end goal was to have a live performance with two artists who painted a canvas scroll. It's about 7 to 10 meters, I think, and they painted it in a non-verbal communication process, and we didn't see the scroll until we went on stage. And the piece that they painted was built around the theme of echoes and water and mountains, because Norway and Transylvania have similar mountain chains, right? It's we have fucking mountains, basically. It does something to you, right?
Oh yeah, I live in Colorado. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Well, it does something to you as a person in a way. I can't explain it, but yeah. So Christian, one of the Romanian musicians, he basically composed a 45-minute sketch of a piece that was really good. So that saved us a lot of time, right? And then we worked on the music piece itself that was just 3 days, because it was the kind of the point, because the other days of the project we'd played folk music together, had concerts that were just totally different genre, right? It has nothing to do with the Echoes piece itself. That was just a warm-up to get to know each other. And then a lot of shit happened, because it's a big thing to pull off in a country where everything's different, and people wouldn't necessarily understand technical discussions, not because of that they don't have competence, but the English gets in the way.
Yep.
So it was just like a lot of like solving things very differently. But that's the point of a European project. It's like you're supposed to learn about the culture in every aspect, like also the music industry, and how a producer would work differently in Romania, basically. And we pulled it off, and it was really a big success. Like, a lot of people came because it wasn't announced. That's like a point of it. It wasn't announced, like a little bit maybe, but not in any, like the municipality announced it. I mean, that's not sexy, is it? It was having the fucking cultural department at the municipality announce the event with this like homemade poster. That's pretty much the fucking announcement, right? And it wasn't mentioned really in any press releases that it was Maria coming, because Heilung had already played at a festival close nearby, just like the 1 or 2 years before. So, right, it's they're also quite big in Romania, and in Brașov, which is the city, right? And then yeah, I don't know. The art piece itself was improvised, basically. We had a run through, and then something technically fucked up happened, so we didn't actually get to hear the entire piece done.
Okay.
Until we didn't ever rehearse anything both because we didn't have time and also because it was supposed to be a spur of the moment. What does the painting inspire us to play?
Mm-hmm.
But it was absolutely nerve-wracking.
Yeah, I can
to be
imagine.
honest. I almost peed a little bit. But I mean, it was a very good moment of group synchronicity.
Mm-hmm.
Like we were kind of connected, and we just pulled it off. And on the floor, there was this interaction going on with the audience, right? So we were also reflecting what was going on the floor. I think there's one clip out where it's, people are holding hands. I think that's a very good moment of like, what are we singing and doing and what's happening on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of, like, it's not going to be released in its entirety because what happened there happened there.
Yeah, that's like kind of the point, yeah?
Yeah, that's absolutely the point. So, because performance art pieces like that can, if you just keep to some simple ground rules, it can really become like rituals.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we pulled that off. It was very meaningful and beautiful, but showing that in a film, even though if we had fucking 5 cameras, it wouldn't just capture the moment.
Yeah, I'm wondering if this has a lot to do with, that one of the, as wonderful as it is that, people can record music, like on their phones, let's say they're enjoying a concert, whatever, there's something, I've seen a few musicians, like influential musicians talk about how that's sort of getting in the way of like the freedom of the moment, where when any moment can be recorded, you're always thinking about like, well, I don't want to take this chance because if someone in the audience is recording, and I mess up, then that might be posted somewhere and then all that. And I know this isn't exactly the same thing, but I'm wondering if this is at all related to that same concept where the recording could sort of maybe put a pressure on the moment that would maybe interfere with that.
No, not at all.
Okay.
Because we did have it filmed with 5 cameras.
Okay. All right.
Absolutely, because we wanted to see if we could make it work.
Mm-hmm.
And I spent a lot of time trying to edit, actually, and I sent it to the rest of the band, or what the fuck do I call it, the musicians, and then we came to a conclusion that it's not going to be released.
Mm-hmm.
So we knew we were being filmed like up our fucking asses. Jesus. But that's also what made it so nerve-wracking, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because we knew, so we were tapping the sound, right, in different channels, because we really honestly thought we could make what if we could make a concert video?
Mm-hmm.
We had ambitions. Well, actually, it wasn't our ambitions. The fucking application that they sent said so, right?
Oh, right, because you want to have some sort of tangible product.
Well, we didn't fucking
yeah.
plan it.
Yeah.
It was we just said, yes, we're joining. We had no fucking idea what they were planning. So, but we made an artistic decision not to release the concert video, even though we were then not delivering what we promised the European Union. Because it's not like, as we made the fucking piece, we own the fucking piece. They can fund the project, but it's our project, it's our music. So that means we get to decide how and when it meets the world. And we made a decision, it's not going to meet the world, but we selected a few clips that we feel like represent the project in a good way. And that's it, because as artists, you have to put something out there, right?
Yep.
But I find it fascinating because you initially said something that I wanted to go back to when you started your question, and it was a question about whether photos and videos take your ability to stay present in the moment away, and which I disagree. First of all, because it depends on who's filming, and it depends on the setting. Like, family photography never took away anyone's ability to stay in the moment.
Yeah.
So photo isn't bad. Video isn't bad. We fucking enjoyed America's funniest home video. That's like early TikTok, right? So the point isn't really social media is taking away the ability to stay in the present because you're thinking about who's gonna watch it.
That's a really good shifting of
You're pulling the gaze of the other into your every moment. Are you planning content? I don't know. Are you planning Facebook feeds? There's a lot of people in my generation that plan their Facebook feed like their own personal newspaper, kind of. And so I just like that's it's not the camera, right? We fucking love cameras. That's not it. Cameras are fun.
I mean, like you must be the first person to ever make the TikTok America's funniest home videos connection. I've never. I mean, think about it. It's the same as scrolling, right? The way that those videos used to just stream together in 15 seconds.
Well, yes, in a way, but America's funniest home videos was a social. If everybody fucking watched it and you talked about it the next day, right?
Exactly. It'd be like if everyone had the same feed, which no one does.
Well, I think you're wrong about that.
Okay.
I think there's a lot of very, very similar feeds nowadays. And then you're watch, like if you're the kind of guy that likes to watch the funny videos, if it's like with cats or people falling over or whatever, that's cool. I don't think that's I don't judge your feed, right? But I know a lot of people who are caught in this like feed of self-help or if you have ADHD, look for these signs or what the fuck? I don't know. Or in diet feeds or in anything, influencer feed. There's a lot of different feeds as we can agree on, but I don't think it's that radically different. I think it's, I don't know. Do you think something else?
I mean, like, I feel there are definitely the especially if I'm taking and thinking of it from the Instagram point of view. I know the feed gets shared as insofar as, you know, a friend of yours will like something and now you'll see it too, right? But like my wife and I have very similar.
It's like more like an intricate net kind of.
Yeah, exactly. So like my wife and I have very similar interests and follow a lot of the same things on Instagram, but we've actually found that just because we have different genders put into Instagram, even that will sort your feed in a whole different way, you know, targeting.
So you're just getting a sweater?
Right. Yeah, we'll get different kinds of content and all that stuff that's suggested to us, and Alyssa actually gets a kick out of just like, for example, just how much more sexualized the content is that's aimed at men on their Instagram stuff. Like I noticed this with all my guy friends. Will my wife's like, hey, let me see your Instagram feed, which is already a minefield, right? But then you'll always just notice this pattern that like even down to like your gender your sexual preferences and all that will definitely alter the types of stuff you see on your feed, to a degree where feeds have some shared content.
But I think everybody knows this. That's the thing.
Yeah,
that's what I find so fucking weird. Like everybody knows this, and it's like, no, I just don't get it. Well, I do, because it's very highly addictive, and everybody, but everybody knows this, right? So, well, you're not going to be surprised if I tell you that I don't spend time on social media, right? Christian. I'm going to get back to the point now, the story, right?
Okay.
Christian, which is the name of one of the Romanian musicians in the Echoes project, has become my musical partner, and he's just an amazing person.
Cool.
Who also took over my social media channel.
Okay.
And I'm so happy.
Excellent. Liberated.
Okay, I'm putting the sweater on now.
Okay, sounds good.
I put my arm through the neck hole.
Yeah, doing those while you're holding the phone.
Give me another try. Look.
All right. Ooh, professional.
Ninja.
Excellent. Yeah, so if we want to bring this back to the echo, and maybe we can also segue into Piina if you unless you had more you wanted to say about the echoes thing. But I just thought that was an interesting, I just want to say that I like the way that you actually reframed it away from the camera to where the video gets put. Because I think you're right that has more to do with it. Whereas just, how many
Nobody
people are
ever
going to see
talks
this?
shit about photo albums, right?
Right.
Oh, damn, those photo albums sitting there in that shelf.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I take that back, because there might also be a lot of trauma in there. So take it back.
All right. No, that's good. Yeah, so then so Piina. This is quite, I'll use the word avant-garde. In only a good way, because I always have to brace myself for avant-garde things, because by definition I don't know what's going to happen. Like, I have no expectation, right? And so when I finally sat down and listened to it, and then you put out the second one as well, I just have to say, as sort of a preface to the conversation, how well composed it is, but at the same time it seems improvised, where like that's such an interesting balance where I'm listening to something and it sounds both intricately wrought or crafted, but also sounds like it's being improvised off the top of the head. And the way that you so effortlessly shift between the English and the Norwegian, where I'm sort of like, oh, I'm here now with the lyrics. And there's so many different places I could start with this, but I guess maybe the best place to start with talking about Piina is sort of maybe just the core concept, where I know that pain and processing pain and all of that, at least from what I read from other interviews and other stuff that you've put out about it, that at least to me seems to be at the core concept of it. But if you want to say more about sort of what the project is in terms of inspiration or core concept, I would love to hear that.
Yes, so I've answered. It's very hard to answer it, because I don't want to, but
okay. Excellent.
I already said hints about it in different channels, as you mentioned. And I strive not to repeat myself.
Okay.
Unless I'm saying that exact sentence. But I would say that I'm just trying to think about, is there anything new I want to share on that very large question, what is it about, right? So I'm gonna ask you to be a bit more specific.
Okay. Yeah, so then pain. Am I understanding correctly that pain is a part of the concept?
Yes. Pain. Okay. Piina means torment and pain, and any kind of pain, emotional. It's just a very all-encompassing Norwegian word. Right?
Yeah. Pain can mean physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, existential pain of finding out 2015 was 10 years ago. Yeah.
That's really good. Yeah. No, but I mean, Piina is all of me musically. And there are several pieces in Piina, and then it's the opus, right? It's the starting point. I like to look at it as I'm the bard going on to the empty stage, and then I'm announcing that pain is in bloom. And then I'm describing pain from outside perspective, as if pain has really shown me what it is, and that pain has explained to me what it is, and that it has a language, and it's it wants to communicate, not just to me, but through me. So I guess it's the bard knows how to translate the language of pain, and he's announcing that by showing knowledge about pain and getting into your ear, in through the crack of consciousness, let's say that. And I know it's not for everybody, but everybody is not ready, so it doesn't matter. And I love that people find different meanings and different joys in it. And I've heard so many different interpretations and genres, suggestions, and people get different parts stuck. And then people discover new things in the lyrics. And it's just very fun to lean back and enjoy that ride. But then I wanted to release Piina 2, which is the second. Because I need to let the first of 5 pieces speak. And it was very natural to start with the body. Because if Piina is the psalm of pain, which I like to describe it as, then I say as I speak in 4 tongues, right? So I need to let those speak, basically. And when I say speak in tongues, it has nothing to do with speaking in tongues as the you know what I mean.
Yep.
So but the body isn't necessarily one of the tongues, right? It wields the tongue because it says that. Yes, so there's more coming, and I'm just really looking forward to speaking about pain, but don't want to necessarily speak about it. So like, what is it really that's hurting in your surroundings? What's really wrong with the world? Because we can talk about that forever. What's wrong? I had this fucking hilarious moment. This Saturday, like there was a musician visiting. I really like him. We're recording. I'm singing on his new EP. I can't tell you yet who it is, but he's in the Norwegian black metal scene.
Okay, awesome.
And then he was quite drunk in the evening there, and he was rambling on about how fucked the world is, right?
That's where a lot of drunken rants go nowadays.
Everything is fucked. Everything is fucked. Like, it didn't used to be like this. Just 30 years ago, you didn't used to be like... And he got quiet for a moment, and he looked down in his beer, and he said, "But I know what's wrong." And then we're like, really? Like, lifts his finger in the air, and he says, "I think it's vegetable oil." Omega-3 vegetable oil. And I'm not denying that vegetable oil might be a piece of that puzzle, but you can't fucking blame it on the vegetable oil. You're also sitting there drinking alcohol, so I just don't get it. So there's a list of 25 things that we could name as the problem. The problem is the plastic in the fish. The problem is the whatever, right? And I agree, it is a problem. We are ruining the planet. But what if you look at it at a macro level? Yourself and your actions in your everyday life, right? And I'm not saying this to criticize, and I'm not saying it to be one of those, it's going to be fine if you just get up every morning at 6 and then you meditate on your way to the job and on your bicycle while you listen to a really good podcast for CEOs.
You're
I'm
sounding
not a
like that wellness feed.
motivational speaker. I'm not a motivational speaker, and I don't have a recipe. I'm not trying to sell anything. Just wanted to disclaim that. And I lost my thread, so I'm gonna shut up and let you speak.
No, I mean, so thank you for asking me to focus the question a little bit more, because what you just went on about pain and stuff like that, I thought that was actually rather profound. So thank you for sharing that. And also, it sounds metal as hell, right? Like this whole idea of just processing and speaking, and letting pain speak through you, which I'm going to use as a little bit of a segue to talk about the actual style of music itself, just in case anyone is sitting here listening to us talking about it, being like, oh yeah, this sounds like a crushing black metal album. It's not that.
Oh, then I recommend whoever is listening to pause this podcast right now and then listen to it and then put this podcast back on.
Yep. Yeah, 100%. And I've started to put little song, samples of the music at the front of the podcast episode to get everyone on the same page. But
because you know social media, you're very clever.
Oh, well, a lot of people asked me to do it because they were like, we want to hear the conversation, but I hate pausing and having to go all that. So, I'm a man of the people.
I have to change rooms
Okay.
just quickly, but please continue talking.
Yeah, sure thing. I think I can do that. But where I would love to go with this, right, is you're sort of talking about the you said that this isn't for everyone. And I know for a fact that being avant-garde, and being this thing that sort of defies expectation, and as you're talking about, defies genre description, this type of music benefits from repeated listening. And I know, at least when I have to show my students who take an elective for music appreciation, I know I'm showing them a lot of music that they're going to hate, or I know that I'm showing them a lot of music that's going to be very different or very weird for them. What I always do is play it once, let the shock, whatever you want to call it, oh my God, you're giving me vertigo with that. That was amazing.
Sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. I just know that if my job is to teach students how to more actively appreciate and engage with music, right? I find that one of the best things I can encourage students to do is, when they're encountering something new, when they're encountering something that maybe they know that they're not going to like, but they have to listen to it for the class, I allow them. We're going to listen to it once. Laugh if you have to, cringe if you have to. This new generation of students loves cringe. They're always worried about cringe, right? And after I let the students sort of process that first encounter with it, we're like, this was weird, this was bad.
Are you saying you played
No,
Piina
not
to
this. No, this is any. No,
Okay.
this is any. No. This is any kind of new music, like anything from 20th century classical music, or even showing them death metal for the first time, right? Just listen to it, let yourself feel those first impressions, but then we're going to listen to it a second time. And I want you to listen to it with the second time and sort of ignore everything you just talked about and try and look at how you feel past those first emotions. And what I've always found is that almost always leads to a more productive and active engagement with whatever they're listening to that's avant-garde or way outside of their normal, music tastes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah, but you're that's kind of what I mean when I say it's not for everyone, because there's a lot of people who they don't have the energy or time to be in a headspace where they are actually they want to take something new in, right? There's a lot of people who don't seek out new music. There's a lot of people who'll never click a new link because they're full, basically, right? I've been in periods of my life where I didn't listen to music at all for like 3 years because I was full. I just wanted silence. So, I mean, if you actively choose to click on this song, the first thing you hear is like me repeating pain as it hits you on the head like a nail, right? It's not really nice to listen to if you're not tuned in and ready. And then a few minutes in, I kind of switch to the Nordic style of singing instead of the. Well, I changed the key, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can probably hear it, and that can sound a bit off for a lot of people. I think you need to kind of right. So if you make it past that point, I think you'll make it through. But I've had people say that it feels like 30 minutes, and you're like, "What the fuck just happened?" Right? But then, exactly as you say, if you're that kind of person that has that energy and space and opportunity, basically, to enjoy something like that, because if you're not there, you're not ready to talk about pain, so it doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know you very well personally at all. Like, I know minimal about you, really.
Mm-hmm.
But to me, it says a lot about you. Well, I don't really know. Also, you're a professional, right? You teach. So it would have been a bit weird if you didn't do it yourself.
Yeah.
And you run the podcast, right?
Oh my God, it is my biggest pet peeve when people have musicians on their podcasts and then admit, like, in the episode, like, oh no, I haven't listened to it. I'm like, then what are we talking about? Then what are we talking about here? Why did you not listen to their music? But no, I understand what you're saying. Yeah, I do. I try to be professional by at least listening to the music of the people who are coming on my podcast.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I have to put the phone down because I'm shaking.
Oh yeah, you've been holding it this whole time.
I just have to find a different position, basically. Okay. Oh, it's cold. That's why I'm shaking, because I'm in the black box, and fucking hell, I forgot to put the heating on. Okay.
Cool.
Yes.
There we are.
Oh, that was nice. Okay,
yeah,
great.
Do you want to try something even cooler? If you were able to put it on its side.
No, can't.
No?
It's charging.
Oh, it's charging. Oh, gotcha.
That's why it was so hard to put it down, because I had to find something to stand on with a hole where I could kind of put the... I've been looking.
Yeah. So then I'll hand it back to you. You were talking about you were talking about how much you know me, or you were talking about the pain with the listening and all that. I'll hand it back to you for that.
Yeah, well, you're a professional, and you're probably... I mean, I know you as a person that has a lot going on, right? You have a lot of energy, you have a lot of projects. And I also think I wrote you once that you're driven by its enthusiasm and curiosity, not necessarily profit, right?
No one gets into this for profit. No one chooses ethnomusicology to make the big bucks.
No, exactly. But not just that, like, you're not running the podcast for profit, right?
Yep.
So it says a lot about you, and that you probably don't have a lot of pain physically, personally, right? But then I also know you do have pain in your life, right?
Yeah, I mean,
so,
yeah.
I'm
no stranger. I had like a freak medical thing during COVID that couldn't be diagnosed, and I was in pain pretty much 24/7 for a year before anyone even knew what was wrong with me. So that's my relationship with pain. And also, I collapsed my lung twice when I was growing up. I'd probably don't have to tell you, but like going bald at 20, that's some emotional pain.
Yeah.
So yeah, no stranger to it, but I get what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah. So all of us have pain, right? It's not, but then there's the pain that you understand. Like, I don't know if you processed all your pain, but at least you understand it intellectually, right?
Yep, I try.
There has been some successful communication going on between you and you, Carla. But then there's this whole new language of pain now that we don't understand. Different chronic pains. Undiagnosed stuff, right? And our bodies are like, they're confused and messed up, and they're screaming for attention and to be heard, our
Mm-hmm.
human nature, our mammal bodies. So that when I use the term human nature, it expands
Mm-hmm.
the physical mammal body. It's there's a lot of things in the human nature, and my human nature is also different from your human nature,
Mm-hmm.
right? So the language of pain right now is also a mess. And I guess through my pain, oh, fucking, I almost fell off the chair.
Speaking of your pain,
That was an almost pain.
as you crack your skull on the wall behind you.
Oh my God, images.
Yeah, right.
No, but I've spent a lot of time with my pain. I've spent a lot of time. It's going to sound very dystopic, and it's going to sound like I'm disassociating with the world.
Okay.
But I've spent a lot of time alone in the dark with no stimuli. So don't bring music or your phone or a book, right? Just stay alone in the dark with nothing but yourself. And it's been interesting. But I've learned a lot about the language of pain. And kind of worked through a lot of things as well, but that's very personal, right? So it's not really relevant. But I think I have had a lot of common things, so I can relate to a lot of things. I've pretty much had all the pain there is, to be honest. I pretty much have every pain, and I'm not unique. I think a lot of people go through life having every pain there's possible to have. But then there's some people who get caught in it, right? And I had this chronic pains for about 15 years. And I couldn't feel my body in the end. I had to chisel myself down and take back what was left and then start fixing that ruin, kind of. And that's been really fun, and it's been really scary, and it's been a lot of things. And Piina came as a result of that. But it doesn't mean I'm done, right? Piina was just like a moment of clarity.
Yeah, it's a part of it.
No, Piina was a moment of clarity. It's like, I got it all figured out. And I wrote the lyrics in one evening, and I was like, really, yes, you know. And then like a week goes by, and I'm like, oh, thank you. I have that song to remind me of all the smart things. It's a psalm. Like, why you sing psalms? It's to honor and remind and be get in the zone. I don't know. I'm not a big psalm singer.
Yeah, man. I mean, so it is. I think you're talking about something very interesting here, and that's the fact that we all feel pain, but we don't really know how to talk about it so much. And I know that
well, actually, we talk about it at length, really.
Yeah, but is it meaning? You know what I mean?
Well, we're gonna circle back to the other thing we talked about. Like, we talk about pain at length, but we're just pointing at the surroundings.
Yeah.
It's vegetable oil.
Yeah. Yeah, no. Where it brings my mind, right, is the idea that, you know, as an ethnomusicologist, I get to a large part of, you know, the whole atmosphere and talking to other people in the field is learning what other cultures and other communities do when people do experience pain or illness or sickness. And so many cultures around the world, when, you know, there are ceremonies, there are rituals, there are all these things that transcend verbs, right? Or sorry, words. where it's not just talking about it. You actually, as a community or as a family or as a tribe or whatever, you actually come together. And when someone is experiencing a lot of pain, be it physical or emotional or spiritual, there are different rituals that will be applied, to you or focused around you as a sort of communal or social way of dealing with the pain, in a way that we just don't do, at least in Western culture. We don't do that many of these sorts of activities about pain, right? We at least not to process it or to address it. We have a lot of activities around inflicting pain, like sports or something like that, where it's fun, right? But we don't have a lot of activities around like the processing of pain, or collective mourning.
Well,
I would
we
say
do.
a funeral maybe is
Yeah.
a good example of one, but by and large, we don't have many rituals we do together that work through pain outside of words.
Yeah, in an emotional sense, I absolutely agree. Like,
Hmm.
um, yeah, that's a really whole new topic, really.
Hmm.
The individualistical society
Hmm.
and all that jazz. But I want to say also physically, right?
Hmm.
In Norway, at least, we have given away the responsibility of our bodies to the government.
Hmm.
Like you're ill, you go see a doctor. Yes, absolutely. Go see a doctor. That's not what I'm saying. Don't stop seeing doctors. But you go in there with a mentality. I'm going to stay here for 20 minutes now, and he's going to fix me like I'm going to a car workshop, right? And then I can just drive off. And the reason I'm saying the government is because in Norway we have a public healthcare system that actually works.
Yeah, rub it in.
So I'm not saying that to be governmental,
Hmm.
to be critical against the government. That's
Hmm.
not my point. The point is, yes, but the thing is, in Norway we actually like our government, and we really trust them, and generally, right? So
Hmm.
giving away the responsibility of your body to the government, where your government's fucking nice, it's like a good uncle. It's not so dangerous as giving the responsibility of your body away to a government in a country where things might be different.
What are you talking about? I would love to give my body to
Where the
Donald Trump.
government doesn't have your best interest.
Yep. As I just said, I would love to give my body to Donald Trump. I would love to just, have him. I trust him with my life.
Could you make that one into like one of the short reels where you promote the podcast?
No, absolutely.
It's just you saying, I would love to give my body to Donald Trump.
No.
It could have worked.
I don't know. I think I'd attract the wrong kind of attention, but I think like what you're
integrity. We have integrity now, do we?
Oh, big man has integrity. But no, so it's totally, a big part of what I have to do, right, as a part of my work is I have to study and read so many, books and research articles, what have you, about Norwegian society if I want to say that I'm an ethnomusicologist, of Nordic music. I need to understand the place, right? And it's such a common theme across authors and researchers, anthropologists, health officials, and all of that. The sheer amount of public trust that Norwegians have is something that I could not even dream of having here in the United States. So that's why I said playfully rub it in, right?
I have 2 Americans visiting now, staying for 3 weeks. And we just, so we're cleaning up in the barn and stuff. And we're really good at recycling. And we're supposed to recycle it before you drive it to the dump. Let's just say they've had a learning curve.
Dude, Americans in recycling, that's like our final boss. Like we have no idea what to do. We're not ready for it. We just scream and sort of go into the fetal position.
Well, I want to inspire the American people to start recycling, and I have a really good reason for it. I know Norway is ruining the world with their oil. I know we have a really big CO2 imprint or whatever it's called, but we recycle. It's just really good for the spirit of the people in the country, right? Like you should unite around recycling, and then you can turn away and look the other way.
So then if we're going to get back to Piina, we're talking about pain, and the whole reason I brought up the social aspect of it is because I think that, at least to me, the value is having, music as a way of processing pain that's beyond words, right? It's more of a social way, even if it's personal or if the music connects with the listener, right? That is a social way of if not processing, at least confronting pain, right? But I actually do want to circle back around to something that you said that you finally put into words something that I've been thinking about for so long. You said that people are full on music.
No, just generally full, right?
And yeah, just in general, just full. We're so much content stuffed in our gullet. We're like human foie gras with like all this content that we have in us. And
it's not just content that comes out of the phone, right? You're full of life in general. I mean, you might have kids, you might have a job, you might have a million appointments. It's just, let's just not just blame content, please, because content is really entertainment that's supposed to fit in there when you have energy to enjoy entertainment. People have always sought out entertainment to turn their brain off, right? Always throughout human history. But now it's always available in the pocket, right? So you don't really have any of the moments you're supposed to have, like with your own thoughts. I mean, and also it leads to a bunch of really weird things. Like people don't necessarily process. Let's say one day you had a trauma with a little T, right? You're terrified of dogs, and you meet a dog that's really barking back. That's a trauma with a small T, or it's a trigger or whatever. But you don't spend any time processing that physically, emotionally. You just scroll. Which is great. Like you're getting entertained, and then if you scroll through maybe like 150 videos, you're getting 150 new impressions. Some of them might also be emotional. You could laugh, you could cry, you could get dead babies, you could find something really interesting, you could be sent into deep thought. I don't know. It's just like so tired. I need a break. I've been in my head all day. My body just needs some space and time and like a little bit of dialogue. I'm going to shake it off, the stuff with the dog, right? But instead, just look into the screen and then nothing happens. You're just standing still. It's scary.
Yeah, very much so. My wife and I have this conversation all the time because she works. So like she does blue collar work a lot. She's a baker and she does very long shifts, like on her feet, physically working, right? And for a long time, the best thing that she wanted to do when she came home was to just scroll, turn her brain off. And, she's deserved.
She's not alone.
Exactly.
She's not alone.
And I've always been in a weird relationship with it because I have an entirely different kind of work, sit, think, write, and for me to like look at that and I know what she's doing, right? And I know why she's doing it. And, 12 hours on your feet rolling croissants or whatever, right? She's earned the right to do whatever the fuck she wants at the end of the day, right? But at the same time, you notice this trend where it's like, the way I worded it is like, does this actually like make you feel better? And we started to have these real talks about this where it's like it can
No,
give the
you're just
illusion.
staying in the hamster wheel,
It gives
basically.
you the illusion of
Every day
relaxing.
is the same.
Hmm.
Everything, every day becomes the same, kind of, but the entertainment might change. It
Hmm.
depends on your algorithm, basically.
Yep. And what we just found is, when we actually think about it in terms of, is this actually relaxing me? Is this actually turning my brain off? And we come to the conclusion, no, it's not. So what do we start doing instead? Now we actually, like healthy couples do, we actually go for a walk together, or we'll actually,
Wow.
maybe
Wow.
sit out on the porch and have a beer, right? And we just found that once we both came to the conclusion that it's just an illusion of feeling better, without actual, it's kind of like junk food, right? It's a lot of empty calories. All of a sudden you do find yourself with your thoughts a lot more, when you're actually talking through these things with
But
someone
then,
else, or even just yourself.
those exactly, but you're lucky then, right? Because you're in a
Exactly.
relationship.
Yep.
Like if I can understand why some people would be afraid of meeting those thoughts
Yep.
and talking to those pains, right?
Hmm.
Because you need to be in a very balanced, good, solid life situation.
Exactly. Hmm.
Which is also why I'm not going to force Piina on anyone, because that might do more damage
Hmm.
than good, right? So yeah, I don't know. We've been circling around a lot of things, really. It's
Yep.
really interesting. And I don't know. I just find it strange that people kind of tend to point out all the problems, like what's wrong in the world, and we shouldn't stop doing that, right?
Hmm.
Because it is wrong. But at the same time, I wish people would be more alone in the dark, and then be aware of how scary that could be, but at the same time try. I don't know. I'm just so curious to see what would happen if we woke up. It would be interesting.
I mean, yeah, you're rubbing shoulders with, I'm pretty sure it was Nietzsche, who just, no, it might have been Voltaire. It's some big philosopher just said that most of the world's problems were just a result of people not being allowed, or not being able to be alone with their own thoughts. And this
Well, I
is
think
quite a big
allowed is a
problem.
better. Allowed is a better,
Hmm.
because being able isn't
Yep.
really. It is in our human nature to be able to be alone with our thoughts.
Yep.
We've had great philosophers,
Hmm.
right? It is in our human nature to self-regulate without stimuli.
Hmm.
It is in our human nature to be together and to know the touch of the other and the language of the other's body.
Hmm.
Like, because we can talk about body language at length, but we need to start talking about the body's language,
Hmm.
because the body language is full of semiotics, and it's full of culture, and it's full of social norms, and it's full of gender debate, and it's full
Hmm.
of a lot of things. But the body's language is really fucking interesting.
Yeah, for sure.
But you won't meet it if you scroll too much, I would say.
Yeah, and it's
Like, you can scroll a little bit. I mean, we can. What if we started
just a little bit.
broadcasting America's funniest home videos again, and we just agreed we're gonna watch that Tuesday, Fridays. We'll have a forum and we can discuss the. Did you see that when he got the fish hook and the hat fell off?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I think you're onto something. I think we just need America's Home Videos back.
Yeah, but I wanted to say something about Songleikr as well because
Yeah, please, yeah. If you feel like we've hit bedrock on the Piina thing, then we can leave that be, and then we can talk about Songleikr.
yeah. So I'm gonna try to bite the tail, right, of this interview. I'm gonna try to bring it back to Echoes, where we got
Okay.
to know Christian.
Yeah.
And then we have dates set for the recording of the new album, which is like a milestone because someone's been rather busy with another project.
Certain someone.
And so Heilung is going on a break, which I assume you are aware of.
Mm-hmm.
So Songleikr is going to be Maria's priority during the break. And we don't know what's going to happen after, but we're going to enjoy her break together. And we're bringing this Christian from the Romanian project.
Mm-hmm.
And we have we have an audition for drummer, right?
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah, and we're just kind of putting the band together, which is really fun. It's a fun process. I guess we'll announce more about it later, because I just stopped myself because I don't know if I'm allowed to say it, right? We have to be cautious. And then we're currently working on the material, composing and writing, and so some of the songs have been ready for a while. But it's also a lot of new compositions, which is really fun. And we're working on where are we going to play in 2026. So in Europe. And yeah, we're basically kind of just waiting for someone to reach out and say, would you like to play?
Yeah, so if you guys are already in this, you say you already have some music, written and you're looking for the band. I was wondering, like, what kind of, are you guys looking to keep up with the same style of the first album, or where are you, like, that's what I'm curious about, if you can, don't, I'm not trying to pressure you to talk about anything more than you can.
I think I can. I just don't want to say anything I'm not sure we're agreeing on, right? So I have to speak slowly. Yes and no. Like Songleikr is it's a folky project. I've recently said it's it's folklore pop. It's folk pop because it's also quite poppy, and I mean, we don't really use a lot of the classical folk, Norwegian folk elements, but it's enough of it to put it in that category, right? And the previous album is very well produced, with a lot of it's worked on, right? Whereas in Piina, the Piina project, it's like a one take, and it's minimal of this effects and all of that. So we're kind of trying to meet somewhere in the middle here, to make it more down to earth and organic.
Okay.
At the same time, we want to keep the alluring, floating harmonies of the voices together. The Nordic sound.
She said it.
I'm getting interrupted.
Oh, that's
Hei,
allowed.
vær så snill og vent på meg ut.
Nei! Du må komme! Jeg har planlagt en liste.